morning, guys. Welcome to dev.it-bohol. Once again, we're going to tackle about Git 101. So on this topic, we're going to tackle about how to add an existing repo, how to add a remote URL to your existing project. Let's say you have a bitbucket or GitHub or anything Git hosting, and you have the URL and you want it that your current project will push to that or point to that. So we're going to set it up. Remember previously that we initialized a new Git project on the previous video. So if you remember, we do a git init on it on your existing project. Okay, so example, this is your existing project. First thing you're going to do is to go to your working directory, and then you should initialize a git and then add those files that needs to be tracked by git, and then commit it and do your initial commit. So we've done we already have done those actions on the previous video. So right now we're going to check by using Git Log. We can see now our list of commits, our history of commits. So we do have a initial commit. Let's see, I'm on develop. I will go to master. I am on master branch now. Yes, we will tackle the branching on the next video. And right now, if you want to see your remote URL, you can do on your working directory. You can do git remote -v. Okay, unfortunately, once our current project, we initialize a git, but we don't have any remote URL. So these projects are already reside in your local, and you can share it on your fellow developer. So right now I have a bitbucket. I have a bitbucket repo here, and I'm going to copy my copy the URL. So I'm going to do is, the command for it is, we're going to execute this Git Remote Add Origin and then the URL of your repo. So the purpose of this is we're going to add a new remote name origin, and then this is the URL of the repo. Now, as you can see, there are two kinds of URL. We do have a HTTPS and SSH kind of remote URL that you can use when pushing or pulling or communicating with Git server. Okay, so as of now, since I already set up my Git as an SSH, so I can use the SSH command. So the purpose of this is when I do a pull, push, or clone or whatever on the bitbucket repo or GitHub is I will not use any password. Just unlike HTTPS connection or remote, that every time I connect to Git or every time I push, I need to give my password. Okay. On our next topic, we're going to discuss how to set it up. What's the difference between the HTTPS setup and SSH setup? Okay. So right now, I'm going to execute this command. So git remote add origin and the URL. So after doing that one, when we do git remote -v, so we can see now that we do have an origin and it's pointing to this URL. Okay, so for fetch and for push. Okay, so we already have a remote URL. All we have to do is to push our initial commit to that repo. So always, since this is our first time, so we can just push directly. But on the common routine, we always do git fetch first, or git fetch origin, the name of the remote. If you have two, or if you're one or more remote, so you need to specify the name of your remote. So in our case, we do have origin. Okay, so we can do git fetch origin. Let's see. Takes a while. Okay. Since that is a new repo, so there is no other updates that we can fetch. But unfortunately, when you're going on a team or a development team that the project has already been started, when you do a git fetch, you get all the git the history, updates of other developer, and so on and so on. So it's nice that we do a fetch first so that we can get the updates and then push our changes. So right now, since it is empty, so we can just git push origin and the name of the branch, git push origin master. So we're already on the master branch. So when I do git push origin master, I will push all my commits to the repo URL, to the remote repo that I add. Okay, so as you can see, we see this one to bitbucket or etc. This will be your URL of your repo. So we do like that, and then we can do git branch -r, so we can see the branch that is in our remote. So as you can see, we do have origin/master. So when we check it on the bitbucket, okay, let's check on bitbucket. So as you can see, we do have our commits here. This is our initial commit. This is the one that I been pushed a while ago. So it's here. Okay. So once we already push a certain commit and it was a success, then we can do the routine. We can do the we can do the basic routine of the Git that we can when we're going to when we are in the development. So we can do git status, check in the git add, check in whatever the updates, then we do the git commit, and then add the message, and then we do the git pull origin master first. Okay, actually the correct way on routine on this one is, before we start the task, we should get the updates first on a remote repo. So we do git fetch or git pull origin master, and then we start our task. We add it, we git commit, we git commit -m, and then we git push to the repo. So that is the basic routine on our on a daily basis on using Git. Okay, but eventually it will be different on when the setup is when the team is using a branching technique on Git. So it will be another setup on pushing it to bitbucket or committing it or merging it to master. So it will be different. On our next video, we're going to discuss about that Git branching strategy that is very effective on a team development, that is really solve most of the issues on conflicting commits that you push on master, and then if your master is deploy on live server, so it's really risky that if something happens to master and it will affect the live, it's very risky. So branching technique is very useful, and it's very safe. Your productions commits are safe and far from the dirty commits happen when you're going to develop. Okay, so that's it for now. I will review again. I'm going to add a new remote repo. All we have to do is to git remote add, then the name of remote, whatever you like. By default, Git always use origin, and then you can name whatever you like depending on the situation or relative to your project. And then the next is the URL of the repo. Okay. So you can add another remote if you have another remote repo that you're going to get the updates, or you're going to fork on other remote repo. So you can add another remote, and then once you add it, you can just git push, git pull, name of remote, and then branch. Could be master, it could be developed depending on your team setup. So as well as git push, the name of the remote, and the branch. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you learn in this video, and we see you on the next tutorial on Git 101. Please like my page, dev.it-bohol, and you can post questions. You can ask questions. You can message me questions that I can include on the next video, so that I can help I can help solving your issues or problems on your development on a certain project, particularly when you're using a Git or any PHP or any website problem that can be solved on Git. Okay, so message me, and I will include it on video. Thank you very much.